Hello and welcome back to chapter 5 of my book, The A to Z of Alcohol and Sobriety, Everything You Need to Know. But it's not just about alcohol and sobriety. Today we're reading the E's, which is about empathy, ego, empowerment, endorphins, and all other sorts of goodies like that. If you haven't yet listened to the introduction and the A to D, I'll put the links in the description down below, and I suggest you go and listen to those ones first. Anyway, coming up is 14 seconds cartoon and music explaining my journey. If while you're watching that you would like to just press the subscribe button, that would be great. And if you like it as it goes on, give it a thumbs up, share it with your mates, help me to get the word out there and help more people. Thank you. You don't have to just sit watching me. You can just stick your ear pods in and get about your day if you want to. Chapter E. Eating is what keeps us alive. When we drink alcohol, we can often find ourselves overeating or not eating at all. When I was calorie counting, I would eat less so that I could still drink. I did the keto diet because I'd read that you could still drink clear spirits and wine on it. I ate organic food because it's better for you, but would continue to pour poison down my throat. I was so excited when I found organic wine. I didn't know then of all the poison that's in it. Food is our nourishment and our fuel. It keeps us healthy and alive. Alcohol kills us. Yet in addiction, we choose the booze over the food every time. It is so lovely to be eating again and actually tasting my food. It really helps if you can eat mindfully, no TV or distractions, sitting at a table, eating slowly and chewing our food well. Our mouth is where we start breaking our food down, and this is very basic, very simple, but essential self-care. Eating slowly also allows us to realise when we are full and not to overeat. If I catch myself comfort eating, I ask myself this: am I really hungry? If yes, what is it that I really want to eat? And then I have it. If I'm not hungry, then what is it that I actually want? It's usually a hug, love, or solitude. So I find my own space, hug myself, rub my arms, and remember how great I'm doing. Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual teacher and author with a lived experience of mental health issues and homelessness. He focuses very much on living in the present, and his book, The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment, really helped me overcome my addict voice. You can listen to this for free on YouTube. Ego, one of Freud's theories of the mind. Freud actually called it das Ich, the I. It is realistic and organised and mediates between the part of us that wants something right now, our id, and our more rational side, our superego, which is trying to keep us heading in the right direction. This is the part of us responsible for our self-esteem, confidence, and jealousy. It also compares us to others and fills us with the fear of missing out on that good old FOMO. It is the little trickster part that tells us that just one drink will be okay, when deep down we know that it won't. It is our gossiping mind and constantly trying to confuse us with things that are not actually real. Our ego is the view we have of ourselves and what we build around us to make us feel safe. This is who we think we are and what life has made us. But who are we truly? Some say we can only find this in the silence of meditation. This section may become clearer if you now listen to the id and the superego, which isn't up yet. But it will be. Or you can just read it in my book, $9.99 on Amazon. Egotistical. When it all becomes about me, we can all get like this, especially when drinking and numbing the rational side of ourselves. This is when we can take on the world and have an increased sense of importance and rights. But of course, drink can make us go the other way too. It's a fine tightrope that we walk. EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, is a therapy used for trauma. especially when we have flashbacks and are very stuck in our past experiences. This therapy involves recalling the memory whilst moving our eyes from side to side, a bit like when our sleeping brain is processing our day and dream state. It is thought that by distracting the brain, it can lower the intensity of our memories and help us to change the way we feel about it. Emotions are there to tell us something. After years of numbing, it is a bit of discovery to find out what they are, let alone what they are telling us. Emotions automatically arise from inside of us, as opposed to our feelings, which are our reactions. Emotions are timely. They help us through. It is not easy to hide our emotions, and actually, in so doing, this can lead to physical and mental health issues. Allow them to come without judgment, and let them just be. Empaths. Many of us are empaths, with so much empathy that we almost want to live the life of others with them, jumping in, making it easier, and trying to take their pain and suffering away. Sounds pretty intense and overpowering now that I write this, and it is, for all parties concerned. In fact, it is often too much for us some empaths, so we open up another bottle and make it all go away. Or we could just get sober and recognise what we are doing. We are not Atlas. We do not have the world on our shoulders. Others' troubles are not ours to bear, and we are actually doing them a disservice by trying to shoulder all the blame and suffering. Empathy. This is our ability to understand and relate to someone else's feelings and emotions. It's putting ourselves in someone else's shoes. Obviously, we cannot fully understand someone else's journey as we are not them, but it can help to walk the same path, and that is why our sober communities are full of empathy. Empowerment. Something empaths take away from others in our striving to help and do good. I have to admit, whilst I was never great at delegating or asking for help of any kind, I was pretty good at empowering others in my working life. If someone came up with a good idea, I'd encourage them to roll with it and support them to do so. This gave me less to do, but mostly helped build their confidence. If only I could have done that in my own life, I'd be far richer and a lot less stressed. Another area to work on. It goes hand in hand with boundaries, I guess. Empty. There was a time that I only worried about this word when my glass, or even worse, the bottle, was empty. I didn't realise how empty my life was. Sure, there were people and things in it, but I was not present to appreciate it all. Alcohol takes us to a sad, lonely, withdrawn place, and we feel numb and empty, as though we have nothing. We are nothing, and have nothing left to offer. In sobriety, we have so much more. I was as empty as that bottle, but now I'm brimming over. Okay, sometimes that bottle is fizzier and more explosive than others, but what's a few alcohol-free bubbles every now and again? Empty threats. Oh boy, I used to be full of these. If you don't behave, we'll go home. When it was somewhere I wanted to be, so clearly I had no intention of going home. If it's not in the wash basket, it doesn't get washed. And then I couldn't stand the dirty washing strewn everywhere, so I'd pick it up and wash it. If you so much as kiss another woman, that will be it. And then I'd let them back in. And through all of this, I'd feel unloved, unheard, and powerless, and crack open another bottle to block it all out. Do you make empty threats? Does this help with your boundary setting? What can you do about it? Endorphins are our happy chemicals and natural pain relief. Our body naturally releases them when we hurt ourselves, are in pain, or when we are having a fun experience, such as eating yummy and usually naughty foods, drinking, having sex, and taking exercise. Endorphins can help reduce pain and inflammation and keep our mood happy and stable. Interestingly, low endorphins can increase our risk of addiction, as well as problems with our mental health, physical health, and sleep. Good news, we can boost our endorphins naturally with exercise, music, dancing, laughter, that dark chocolate treat, meditation and sex. Alcohol does increase our endorphins initially, and it feeds the reward pathway of our brain. But over time, like our dopamine, our levels drop, and we need more and more alcohol to get that feel-good factor again. Eventually we just drink ourselves into misery. As my good friend Polly often says, I was stuck at the bottom of a well. Everything was grey and dark. I managed to climb my way out, and I never want to go back there. Where are you right now? Where were you? Maybe visualise it and use it as your motivation for getting and staying sober. Energy. I used to hate mornings, but now I love them. I actually wake up early, feeling refreshed and full of energy. Yes, I have an afternoon lull, but I sometimes make time for a lovely afternoon nap. Alcohol sucks the life force out of us. It makes us tired, drained, unable to sleep properly. Hopefully, you're already starting to see the effects of alcohol as it has on your body and the damage that it causes. It stands to reason that this is going to make every day harder to wade through. Envy can plague us when we are drinking and even when we stop. In the beginning, we can be resentful about others' apparent ability to moderate and so envious of the drinks in their hands. But with time, we come to realise that we are in a far better place than they are. I now watch people drinking, accepting that it is their right to do so, and think, if only you knew what I do now. I've come to realise that if they did know, that they would be the envious ones. Erica Spiegelman is a recovering alcohol addict who wrote her own recovery plan based on her core values and principles whilst focusing on a healthy mind, body and spirit. She's now a drug and alcohol counsellor, motivational speaker and author of Rewired, a bold new approach to addiction and recovery. This is based on her own experiences of addiction and recovery and that of those that she has helped. Escape. I realise now that I've been running away my whole life. In the last 30 years, I've lived in 4 different counties, had 10 different cars, married and divorced twice, had 3 other long-term relationships, one with the same person twice, and bought and moved into 8 different homes. I was about 6 months into my sobriety, listening to Pema Chodron, when I suddenly fell about laughing. Light bulb moment. No matter how far or fast I ran, I was always still, right there. That's when I really started working on me. I still get itchy feet, and me and my partner tour on our bikes, but I'm right there. No more running, no more trying to escape the impossible. And my partner was Andy, who passed away last year. So I've continued riding in his memory. Ethanol is a renewable fuel made from plants and sugars. It is the alcohol that we drink, but it's also mixed with gasoline for our vehicles. E5 fuel contains 5% ethanol, E10 10%, and so on. It is a far better fuel for our vehicles than our bodies. It helps them to run and cover many miles, whereas it makes us splutter and clap out far too soon. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, even death. It will come to us all in the end. Phrases such as "what goes up must come down" by Sir Isaac Newton, and in Buddhist terms, everything that arises passes away. Everything happens for a reason, and from every breakdown there's a breakthrough, have got me through so much. Just before getting sober, I lost my health, my career, and my husband, who couldn't cope with my disabilities. I then lost the alcohol, my home, and my cats. But I gained a grandson, freedom, a different way of living, which is actually far more me. I was never a conventional girl. My CANAMGIRLUK or trike, also known as Bumblebee, and got back with the love of my life. I don't tell you this for sympathy. It really is not needed. Life is great now. I tell you this to give you hope. E-vitamin. Like vitamin A, this helps keep our skin and eyes healthy and helps us fight infection and illness. We get this from olive oil and other less healthy oils such as sunflower, rapeseed and corn oil. It is also found in wheat, seeds and nuts. Excitement is the same physical feeling as anxiety. Butterflies, palpitations, trembling, etc. It's just the thinking that's different. I've known this for many years, but it really hit me the morning I was going to meet my beautiful sober friend SJ333 in person for the first time. The physical feelings came on and I thought I was anxious. I reflected on how the old me would have had to drink before I left the house and got to the meeting place early so I could have another one. Not doing this enabled me to realise that what I was actually experiencing was excitement, and it was a wonderful feeling. I have numbed this incredible feeling hundreds of times in the past. It is so lovely to now feel it. Exercise. We all know it's good for us, but just the word can be enough to put us off, especially me. At one point in my life, I was a gym junkie, but I still go for a pint of Guinness after my workout. I thought this was a healthy option, as it contains iron. How I laugh at that now. I didn't actually drink that much when I was going to the gym. Instead of blocking my feelings, I was easing the pain and making myself good by releasing my endorphins. I can no longer do that, but like dancing, it does not mean that I cannot exercise at all. We don't have to go for a 2-hour workout, a Zumba class, swim 50 lengths or run 10k. Armchair or wheelchair yoga and a few stretches are okay. The important thing is to have a baseline and get moving. Mine is to do my physio exercises and have a short 200-yard walk each day. If I can do more, then great. And if I can't, then that's okay too. And if I don't do my baseline, I don't beat myself up. I just accept that my pain levels and mood are within my control, and it's down to me to try again tomorrow and accept responsibility. Expectations. Try not to have any. I used to have to know where life was taking me and where I was heading. It would put me in a massive panic attack if I didn't know and that things weren't going to plan. But whoever really knows? Everything is moment by moment. In a split second, everything can change. Even life and death. Once we can accept our area of control, we can embrace life more wholeheartedly and enjoy the freedom of not knowing. After all, unfulfilled expectations only lead to hurt and disappointment. I hope that's been helpful for you today, and I'll be back with F again sometime soon.